There we are. Good evening, everybody. How are you doing? Monday live. All right. Let me make sure this is all up and running. If for whatever reason you cannot hear me or the vocal or anything sounds wrong, let me know so I can get it addressed. Let me just check something real quick. Be right there. Just one more second. There we are. Let me make sure this is working. All right. Looks like we are up and running, guys. So good evening. My name is Malcolm, if you don't know me. And Monday nights, 9 p.m. Central, we do this live. This is a live by StreamYard, and you are welcome to join in if you like. So all you got to do is follow the link when I give it here in a little bit, and we'll be able to have a conversation face to face. Let me get in here and get my other screen going. All right, don't need that one going there just yet. All right. That up and running. So what we want to do is we're going to be talking about the new Sony A6700, which is scheduled for release on Wednesday. Right? Wednesday, yes. So with that, I'd like to talk about what you'd like to see in that camera and what the current rumor is on it. So pull those specs up of what we're expecting it to be here. Let's get in here. Make a new window. Hopefully my this mouse clicking isn't bothering you. It seems like I can hear it a little bit in the microphone. So it's not too bad. So here. I'll jump into the alpha rumors. Uh-oh. Am I still alive? What do we get? What happened here? Where's my live at? Got that one. Are we over here still? Okay, good. I thought I lost it for a second. All right. Jump on this here. Let's jump out of this one so this one doesn't get confused. All right, so the A6700. Let's go down here a little bit. We have the official teaser for the A6700 announcement for on July 12th posted as the next generation activity on the go. It looks like nothing there to watch just yet. I don't believe. We might be able to try that, but we'll see here. What we're going to be looking at is the specs of this camera. Now, we got some sales. We'll get back to the sales here that just came up. But as I suspected last week, these cameras are probably out in the hands of fellow YouTubers and they are being tested currently. So, what do we expect from this camera right now? The confirmed specs: the 26 megapixel sensors. Presumably, this is the same sensor out of the FX30. It'll do 4K 120. It has the dual SD Type A card slots like the FX30. It has AI features. I'm guessing autofocus, some sort of features there. A slightly larger body with front dial under the shutter button. So you can see here, it looks like we have a control wheel of sorts that will be able to function like the full frame cameras did. You know, have the focus, or not, sorry, not the focus, the aperture shutter controls there, and you can program them to which way you like. Price slightly below the Fuji X-T5. Now, I don't know how much that Fuji is. Let's take a look here. Fuji D5. This guy $16.99. So if they release this camera under $16.99 for a body only, I would imagine they might do a $15.49 or $15.99. If it's the same price, $16.99, they are coming in under the FX30 price tag. But with that, what should we expect in a camera with those kind of features? So if the the FX30 primarily focuses video, we're going to have a hybrid 6700, I'm guessing. And that hybrid, we're going to expect to have at least a viewfinder, which if we go back to look at the things, the unconfirmed spec is a 3.67 million EVF. And I don't know what this multi-selector for focus point controls. I'm guessing maybe like a joystick control. Is that what they're calling those joysticks? No fully articulating screen. And they're talking about the A7R5 screen, the one that flips around the front and also articulates up and down. So which version is it going to have? I'm willing to bet we just see the side flip screen like the FX30 already has. Focus stacking in camera and 7-stop IBIS. Now that's the impressive number right there. Most of these cameras have been stuck at 5 stops on the image stabilization of the sensor, and we haven't seen that increase. So if they got a 7-stop increase, that's doing really good. Or I mean, not a 7-stop increase, but they moved it up to 7 stops. That would be fantastic to see. Now, it's going to have probably a mechanical shutter in the camera. It'd be very interesting to see if they don't have a mechanical shutter, such as the FX30. You know, I would imagine we would see a. I don't like all these ads popping up on my stream. Sorry. Let's just do a quick search here. A700. You never know. We get 6600, which is down to right now on sale for $1,000. Now that should also tell you that we're expecting a new camera in that range if they're giving the 6600 away for $1,000 now. The mic picks up everything, doesn't it? Get a drink here. All right. So that's going to be some, a little bit interesting to see if what kind of screen it has. I don't think we're going to see the return of the vertical flip screen, although I like the format of the vertical flip screen coming from the FX30 side screen. I think it works better for a hybrid camera in my mind. I personally ran the cages on the cameras, including the FX30. So relocating the microphone wasn't a big deal, but Sony's been pushing the hot shoe slot. So, it's unlikely we're going to see a hot shoe slot relocation, but something probably going to be a side flip screen like we're familiar with currently. I think they're going to get away from the top flip. We know the bottom flip isn't going to be any good because it's going to, hinder any kind of bracketry or anything else you put underneath it. So it still makes sense to have it come out the side. Now, talking about some of the new sales we have going on. Let's go back here to the B&H's homepage. We've got, what do we have here? We had summer sale now. So they're taking $100 off the A7R4, or not, it's just the A7 IV, sorry. So $100 off of that. We got the tough cards are discounted a little bit. Still too much money, in my opinion. One of the things that the Sony Alpha rumors mentioned was that we are losing the 10 to 18 f4 lens, the original lens, and that's the old f4 lens. Now, this is lens, if you don't know, that lens can cover full frame sensors, they found out. So if you wanted a wide angle lens inexpensively for a full frame, you could put that lens on a full frame camera and get full coverage on the sensor. I think it vigneted slightly at one of the focal lengths, but not too bad, really. So we have $100 to $200 off on some of the select lenses. We're still waiting for that 1635 Mark II to come out, and I'm curious to see when that's going to hit, because we're also expecting with this A6700 launch the 70 to 200 f4 Mark II, which has got a macro designation also on it. So what they're saying is that lens is going to be a third of the size of the current 7200 f4. And if you've got a 7200 f4, or you currently have one of those, you shot with one, you'll know how light and small that lens already is compared to like the GM variant. And to make it even smaller, all I can say is I hope they gave it internal zooming, so we don't have that barrel extension like the original one. That would be really, really nice to see in that lens. I would like to see that happen. And being smaller and lighter is just going to be a huge win on that. So we've got $150 off in the A6400, which is still a great camera in my opinion. $750 for body only. It's a little bit up there, but I mean it's still a good solid camera. Sony flash 24-105 is back on sale. The A7 III is currently $500 off. Now this is where I've said you can get the A7 III for $1,000 used. This will drive down the used price of that camera. And if you are interested in a Sony A7 III, used isn't always a bad way to go, but it definitely has its advantages over the older Mark II generation camera, which they still sell. But the A7 III for $1,000, $1,200 used is a really good bargain. Let's see, the ZV-1's been discontinued, the original. They've got the Mark II out now, so they're going to be blowing those things out. $100 off a few more lenses here. Let's see what else we have going on. Like I said, this one is another good deal, the A6600 for $400 off. Now, if you go and buy this camera, they're going to be releasing A6700 in a couple days. I would seriously hold off, but this camera is showing its age now. It's about a little over 3 years old now. So it's quite a few new technological advancements in the way they operate. So the ZV-1F vlogging camera is now $400, which isn't a bad price for that camera either. The 16-35 is $100 off. That's a good deal. The 200-600, same. It's 18-105. I like this lens. I thought it was fairly sharp, but I just don't know if it's worth it in this time to be picking one of these up. We've got the 19 macro, which used to be a cheaper lens back when I first started picking up these cameras. Now it's $1,100 regular, so they've got it on sale for $1,000. We've got the discounted Mark I version of the 7200 f2.8 for $18.98. It's a good price for that lens. The 100-400, it's another good price, good solid lens. $50 off there. A7C is currently $200 off, $15.98. I personally never saw the appeal in that camera. I mean, it's a little rangefinder camera. It's full frame. I can't really go wrong with that. But this is another camera that they're saying is going to be replaced this summer. So if you're interested in an A7C, you may want to wait a couple months to see what happens here in the next, like September, October area, to see if we see a replacement for this camera. So the A7R4 Mark, or the A version, $200 off, getting it down to $3,000. That's still an expensive camera for its age currently. A great camera, but it seems like it's a bit expensive for what it is in this time. So we got some accessories on sale a little bit. Now the R3 Mark A, I like to see this camera sit around, $1,600-$1,700. $1,900 or $2,000 still seems like a pretty steep price for it, but again, it's been around for quite a while now. This is the camera that doesn't make sense. Now, it makes sense, I guess, if you want a full frame Sony camera. It takes fantastic pictures, and it comes with a lens for $1,000. That's a hard price to beat with the lens. $1,600 for that camera with the lens is not worth it, in my opinion. This is, entry level. It's the only Mark II camera they still offer and make. Definitely something to, keep in mind if you're really on a tight budget. But again, I'm saying you can get an A7 III for about that price used if you shop it right, and that's a way better camera for the money. Even at $1,500, it's a way better camera, even though it doesn't have a lens. Pick yourself a little 15-1.8. You'll be more than happy with it. I'm not saying, okay, so this is the lens we're saying we should see another release for. And being that they've got it marked $300 off right now, I imagine we're going to see this one replaced. I would like to say this lens, it's deceivingly looking big here, but it's actually really short. I mean, it's not much bigger than like my 85mm or even the 2470. It's rather compact. So if they shrinked it, or if they shrunk that lens by another third, that's going to be an awesome lens to have for a carry around lens. Let's see, we've got what else here. Just some other little regular deals. So they're selling the $898 for the A7 II by itself. For $100, you get the 28-70 full frame lens. That's worth $100 in my mind. So if you're looking for that's a $1,000 setup with the lens. It's not bad. The white vlogging camera for $398, and that's probably going to be about it. I don't think we're going to see anything else that's on sale. We got some phones, silver A7C 55. That's still a great lens. Yep, and the ZV-E10. This is only ZV-E10 I think I saw in here was this combo. I don't recall seeing it earlier. So $1,249. That's not bad. All right, we got somebody in the chat here. Who we got here? Joel Bottom. Hey, Malcolm. How you doing, Joel? Good to see you in the chat. What brings you in? Where are you from? That's what I'd like to always find out, kind of where everybody's at. Not to be super specific, just general locations. All right, so the next thing we covered on that spec sheet, we covered the sales, and then mentioned briefly on the 10 to 18 has been discontinued. So I'll show you that one. Indiana. All right, good deal. Which camera are you shooting? All right, so yeah, that's where they said the Sony 10 to 18 has been officially discontinued. So it's a lens that always piqued my interest. I always thought it was fairly expensive for what it was, but most wide angle lenses are. But it might be a good lens to find picked up used still. It's still it's a power. Oh, we've got the newer power zoom replacing it, which makes sense. They would cancel it, but this one did have full frame coverage, and that's something I'd like to see if the new 10 to 20 if it has any kind of full frame coverage on it. All right, we'll be done with that. So A7 IV and A7S III, good setup, man. We've got my local group here. We've got one gentleman with an A7S III. and don't have an A7 IV. I haven't had the opportunity to play with that other than just quickly at Best Buy. So how's that A7 IV working for you? Which camera do you gravitate more to? Is it the A7 IV or the A7S III, or do you have totally different purposes for them? So I always found myself I would gravitate to my more video specific cameras, such as my A6400 when I had that one and the A7R2, and I would always use the A7R2 religiously for photos. And it's the same case now. I've got the FX30, which I'm currently streaming on, and the A7R2 is still my go-to photo camera. Now, for speed, I always liked having an APS-C camera like the A6400 because it was so much faster than the A7R2. So if I was shooting sports or actions, I always found myself going to that. So I'd like to hear your thoughts on how these two cameras compare as a the A7R4 or the A7S3, and how do you like the formats of those cameras? What, like I said, what uses are you using for each of those cameras in general? That's what I know, and I'd love to hear from you on that. And if you want, let me get this going too. If anybody wants to join in live, join me on video. You can follow this link here to StreamYard, and this link will take you into StreamYard's little platform, and you'll be able to join in live and have a face-to-face discussion. I need to move that thing. That thing showed up. It keeps going off. All right. So Joe says, honestly, unless I need the 4K 120 or uncrop 4K 60, I mostly use the A7 IV. Enjoy the sharper 6K downsampling image for the video. Always A7R4 for photos. Okay, so that's a good solid point that he brings up, and I think I fully agree with that. I find I really enjoy the 6K downsample out of the FX30 for that reason. It just has a really sharp image quality. Now, it's hard to beat the low light capabilities of the A7S III, I think, and I'm sure you would agree that if you needed the low light situation with that camera, you would definitely gravitate toward that one. So, do you think you could get to a point where you would only, if you only had one camera, you'd keep the A7R4s? I'm guessing. And how often has that crop for the 4K been an issue for you in real world scenarios? I'm dealing with the crop of, what is it? I think they said, because I've got a crop, I'm already using a crop sensor over 4K up to 60. So I'm using on the FX30, it's all the same up to 60. But when I go into that 120 mode, it crops in like to a 1.7 or 1. I think it's like 1.6. It's like, if I'm shooting the 85 millimeter, it's all of a sudden, it's like almost a 200 millimeter lens, I think, by the time I'm using it. So wider angle lenses were, necessary in a sense, shooting the 4K 120, and I didn't know it would be so drastic. I guess I knew they had a crop when I bought it, but it's extremely drastic, and that's something I've definitely I gravitate away from 120 and use the 4K 60 that's still downsampled, I guess. And my FX30 so far has been, a real sweet camera to use. I haven't had any real issues with it. I've been using it for just, this streaming. I've done a couple projects with it, and then of course all my YouTube stuff. it's been a terrific camera, and I'm really happy with it. I just picked up the 16 millimeter APS-C lens for it, which is what I'm currently shooting with, to give me a little bit of wider perspective and keep the camera much closer to me. Now it's only about 2.5 feet away, and I can get to it, see the screen better, just see everything a little bit better, and it works really well for me on that. So for the low light sensitivity, for the most part, I don't need to wide the images for my purposes and can get away with that crop 4K 60, not bothering too much. Yeah, like I said, I don't have a problem with the APS-C sensor running all my footage and everything. It looks fantastic. There's definitely advantages to have the full frame, but I think for most work, most people are never going to be able to tell the difference. Nice shot, looks good for this video for sure. Well, thank you. Hopefully the sound's coming through good too. Let me know if there's any issues there. I can tweak it a little bit. Have you had any crop sensor cameras would be another question I'd have for you. Is this something? Sound is great. Good deal. Yeah, did you start on APS-C, jump right into full frame? What's your background on it? Did you you've been with it for a long time, or I started out the session this evening with the A6700 that's supposed to be being released on Wednesday, and I'm definitely excited for that camera to hit, to see what it's really about. Canon T3i, I went to Sony A6500. Okay, yeah, it's good, solid cameras. How long were you on this A6500 before you decided to step up? I think I was on my APS-C stuff for about a year and a half, and then I found a deal on an A7 II about a year and a half into it. Bought that, and then within 4 months I had the A7R2, and that's still my camera of choice. And the A7 III. Okay, yeah. Are you primarily video focused in your work? I had an A7 III for a little over a year, maybe a year and a half, and I ended up selling it for the FX30. As soon as I saw the FX30 announcement and launch, it was camera. Just one of the ones I just had to have. And I've been super happy with it. I can't complain with this FX30. It does everything I want it to do for video, and having the full 10-bit, just enjoy the hell out of it. Had the A65 for a couple of years and had a A7 III for work. And good, solid setup right there. So have you moved completely away from the APS-C lineup and gone just to the full frames, the two cameras you mentioned earlier? About the A7S III on release, pretty much 10-bit was the biggest change for me. Jump in that from 8-bit was a huge in color for me. Yeah, I agree completely. It's like editing a JPEG to editing a raw image. That's the best way I can describe it. It's so much better to color with 10-bit than 8-bit color. It's amazing the difference, and the detail you can still pull out of it. The refinement you can do to it is just everything about editing on that 10-bit is so much nicer. Yes, but they did 20 for videos versus photos amounts. Okay. That's a great analogy for yeah, it is. I mean, that was the way I describe it to most, and it's like editing a JPEG to a RAW because it's the amount of detail you have. And I can only imagine going to like a 12-bit or a 14-bit RAW file footage. I don't have any way externally recording it, but when I do have something finally, it's going to be something I'm definitely going to be playing around with because I think that's going to be a huge, huge difference. But 10 bits, great. I like the look of it. It's just that little bit of a more of a professional look than the 8-bit offered. You know, the 8-bit in the skies, you get that banding, something would always go on with it, or it just didn't. You always had to work with it and be really careful how far you pushed colors in it. Let's see here. It's going to open up something. I want to work on live. Let's see what we got here. I really messed with the RAW via Ninja 5 external recording from A7III, but space was too much to keep up with it. Yeah. What do you call it? The memory requirements I can only imagine is massive. It's already bad enough at like the 600 megabytes a second that these cameras produce, and it's a lot. It really is a lot. Okay, come on. All right, let's add. All right, I'm going to switch it over here to I was able to get out. We want to edit some A7R2 photos live. This is a shoot I did in Dallas on Saturday morning. I had the opportunity to be out there and figured what a great time to try out Luminar Neo and edit some of these photos live, see how it actually goes. You guys got any questions on the program or how it works? I'd be more than happy to show you. I haven't even previewed these yet. All right, now this is as raw as it gets. I just downloaded these into the computer right before going live to see what we can get. So I was looking to hopefully get some nice fire in the sky and the clouds, and it was just something that didn't happen. Unfortunately, didn't materialize for me, and but I think we got some stuff to work with here. So let's check this image out here. Let's go to this one. We'll edit this photo here. And so it's kind of an iconic Dallas spot to get photos of downtown for the morning sun. Now the sun was rising above these two left trees over here. It's kind of where it was coming up at, but I was really hoping to get some of this fire on these clouds in front of me here. And that's kind of what I was set up to do, but it didn't work out that way. Just you get what you get, you can't really always. You got one more. I have enjoyed talking with you. Thanks for the stream and chatting. I'll definitely hop on the link in the future live stream and chat with you in the video. Thanks again. Hey, no problem, Joel. I appreciate you stopping by. Make sure you hit that like button on your way out, man. Really appreciate you. And always tune in, man. Thanks for coming in. All right, so the first thing we've got is power lines, and one of this thing that this program can do is supposedly remove power lines. Now the problem is we've got the bridge wires in here as well, so I don't want to lose any of that. And what we're going to do is we're going to hop in, and I'm going to crop it first because I think this would look good as a crop. We got the road down here. I didn't really want now this spot, like I said, is an iconic spot in for downtown Dallas shots. I've got shots I've shot in the past from the Reunion Tower observation deck, which is, if you look right here at the bottom of these lights on the Reunion Tower, there's an observation deck there. Phenomenal location to shoot downtown, and you'll get images. Yeah, something like this. Let me show you. So if you're hopping up on the Reunion Tower, there's a shot at 24 millimeter on Reunion Tower looking downtown. So great vantage point for downtown photography of Dallas. If you're ever in the Dallas area, it's worth the ticket to go up and pay for that. Now, excuse me. Back to this image. So it wasn't my only purpose for going over here to Dallas, but I figured it was worth waking up really early and getting to the spot to try to get a photograph of it. So that was my goal. What we're going to do is go ahead and do a crop on it. Now, Luminar Neo offers, let me make this large here. Luminar Neo does offer this crop AI or composition AI, and you can just click it and it'll figure out what works. Now, clearly, to me, it would work, but it's not what I want, so I'm not going to apply it. We're going to go ahead and adjust it. Actually, let's revert it. And what I want to do is make something. Let's just make it free right now. And I want to bring it down to where those power lines are now cut out of the image. And I want to bring it up to just the waters and the bottom of the image. So that's kind of what I had in mind for the shot when I took it. And we'll go ahead and apply that. Now, let's go ahead and take a look and check the resolution of this image. We've got some pretty good detail, looks like, in it. The flag, of course, is moving. We've got some noise. What is my specs on this image here? So this is shot ISO 100 at 36 millimeter f8, 1.3 second exposure. This is shot on the 24-105 on the A700 II. So I mean, considering the size of the image, and we're going up here and looking at the antennas on top of this image, it's not too bad. It's not the best I've had out of this camera, but I think for the conditions I was dealing with, it works. And I've got other images. Like I said, this is as raw as it gets with me. It's like I'm just first time I'm reviewing these images too. But we're going to put Luminar Neo to the test on this. We're just going to try it and see how some of the advanced features work in it. So one of the things they've got is, where are we at here? The extensions, noiseless raw. Now, even though this is shot ISO 100, let's go ahead and just see what noiseless raw does. And it's wanting a low adjustment for the image. So let's go ahead and give it a low adjustment. We're going to get this little graphic that pops up in here, and we'll see what it does. Excuse me. All right, so you can see a lot of that powder's gone. We go to the eye here and look. See, there's the original. I don't know if you can see it in the stream or not. I know I can see it pretty well. I doubt maybe the stream you'll be able to see the difference because of the degradation of the quality. But anyways, we've got some cleanup there going on. And we're looking pretty decent right there. So the next thing we're going to do is let's go ahead and do a super sharp. Now let's get back in here and let's look at this building. And let's go ahead and click on the super sharp AI. And let's just give it a low adjustment. So let's see what it does with the low. It takes a minute for it to process the image here, but just see what it does. See if we can clean up that detail. All right, let's take a look before and after. Yeah, it cleaned it up. Cleaned up some of the fringing and the lights and the pixelation. Can we get in any more on this? There we go. Okay, so that's with it on. That's off. Now, you got to realize how far in we're pixel peeping right now. That's off. That's bringing it on. Let's pull out and look at the whole image. Again, this may not be the best representation being on this live stream, but that's what we got. Let's go ahead and check out. Before and after from the distance scale, I don't see much difference. Very, very minimal, if anything. Let's go ahead and move it to middle. See if we can clean this up even more. The clouds look a little funky to me on that one. Yeah, you can see a lot of texture brought out in the clouds. I don't know if I like that. Doesn't look good at all. Look at the bridge up here. Let's go up here. See, look at this fringing it did. It really had a difficult time with that bridge right there. And that super sharp. I'm gonna say let's revert that back. Let's put low back on it and see. Okay, there's low. It really narrows down the bridge quite a bit there. I don't think we're gaining anything. I mean, it cleaned up some of the image out in the distance. I think low is passable. Definitely not happy with medium at all. All right, so gives us an idea of what we're looking at on that one. Let's go ahead and start playing with some of the color of this thing. Let's go ahead and look at our exposures. Bring down our highlight detail, bump our shadows a little bit. Now let's go ahead and go into bring that up. That looks all right. Kind of lift the shadows a little bit. Let's just see what Magic Light does in this image. I don't think, no, they won't have anything for Magic Light. Magic Light, what it does is it gives you beams on all your little lights over there, and not something I'm really wanting to mess around with. So let's get out of Magic Light there. And let's go back to where to go. Relight. That's what I want to mess with. Relight AI. So brightness near, brightness far. This gives us a couple options here to relight the image, and it does a really good job, I think, in other images. So you can see we're lightening up the water quite nicely. You see a little bit of a contrast to the image too at the clouds. And then let's do the brightness far. We can peel that back. It makes it kind of moody, but we want to change our depth of our near, and let's include more of that bridge in the ground. Let's do that 100%, I think. Let's see here. I don't want to make it too crazy with it. And then Let's go into our color tab here. Go to HSLs. I kind of want to pull the. What do you think? Should we pull the blue back, or kind of like the natural color the way it is? But I do want to kind of highlight this orange, considering I was going for. So orange turns everything white back there. Let's check our reds. No. Go to saturation. Saturate our orange. There we go. Saturate our reds a little bit. What we got for yellow? A little bit on the grass. A little yellow light on the side there on the right. All right, blue. I mean, I don't like going too crazy and making it unrealistic. And purple, what do we got going on purple? We got a little bit of purple in the sky there. Our magentas, not too much. Got a little bit in the horizon. Green, on the other hand, can brighten this. This is where I want to change hue on the grass color. I want to pull it back a little bit. Let's try that. Okay. Cyan. Not a whole lot going on there. Let's take a look at our before and after. See, our read light has really, if you look at the reunion tower, how bright the sphere is on the right, and then we come pull it back, it's dimmed it out quite a bit compared to the way it was. Let's go in here and check detail. It looks pretty good. I don't see any really major concerns here. I mean, I'm far away from the buildings. What I'd like to do is highlight this bridge a little bit more and see if I can't get it to lighten up. Let's see what we can do. I want to mess with the global saturation. I've already made all my adjustments there. Vibrance, no. Let's see if we can add some structure to it. Ooh, that looks nice. Kind of like that look. Before, after. I don't know if you guys are seeing. You can see it in the clouds, looks like on the stream, but it's like over sharpening it way too much. I mean, it looks cool. The bridge really pops now with that structure slide. Let's see what we're actually doing to this image here. What are we doing here? Just it's outlining out more of the wires, just cleaning them up, making them more prominent, I'd say. Hey, Robert, how's it going? Robert's in the room. See, no sound effects. I don't know why my sound effects don't work. I gotta do this. What's Robert's opinion of structure adjustment? Here's kind of where I'm thinking on this image. Here's the original. I've got it edited so far, and that's where we're kind of ending up. I know it's way too much, way overkill, but yeah, just a little fun here doing this live. I haven't even looked at. I went to Dallas on Saturday and shot these morning sunrise pics. I was hoping for fire throughout all these clouds and never got it. I really enjoyed that, but I haven't even looked at these. Figured I'd just throw them up and start editing them live. Let's see. I saw your post about this. I'll be going to the Sony Alpha Community event on Wednesday in San Francisco. Well, gosh darn. I like how you brought up some of the details in the shadows. Well, thank you. You'll be fully honest on this. This is just me goofing off. So Sony event, how I don't even know if you're capable, but just in case you are, if you want, there's that link for you if you want to join in. So how'd you get up with the? I'll get back to that one. How'd you get up into the into that? Who'd you talk to on that one to get to go to that? I know you got that hookup at Mike's camera, right? Really nice conversation. Well, thank you. Looks all right considering the location. Let me show you. Here's the. Oh, that's before the edit right there. That's the shot raw. It was shot at 36 millimeter f8, 1.3 second exposure. So just goofing off with it. So interesting thing is I actually got contacted by Sony outside of my channel, and one of the guys, it was a customer outreach thing they did, and I was able to go on and video chat with a few guys from Sony, and one of the guys is, I guess, one of the YouTube, I don't know what you call him, not a rep for YouTube, but he handles some of the online YouTube guys, I guess, takes care of it. So he was interested in the channel. They checked it out, so they got kind of noticed in that. But that was kind of cool. But yeah, I was just curious, like, what got you involved with that? I know you said you had a lot of brand stuff happening and getting involved with. That's exciting times right there. There he is. All right, folks. The one and only coming to you live.
Hey, can you hear me?
I can hear you, sir.
All right, give me a second. Let me put on my headphones. Let me put on these headphones, brother. I did not plan on jumping on today, but I had a few minutes.
Oh, I appreciate it.
So let me do this properly. I mean, let's be honest. You know, when I come through, I gotta have a little bit of fun here. Okay, so
Right.
all right, so there we go. You know, it's something about an air horn that just makes me relax. So, hey, man, I'm glad to see you live.
Oh, thank you. Glad to have you here.
Hold on, brother. Make sure my stuff. Oh, there we go. Look at this. All right, Malcolm.
Yep.
All right. Did you hear my air horns or no?
No, I did not.
Oh well, I apologize. Okay. All right. Is that better?
That's better. I've got a problem with my sound stage. I can't get my sound effects to work. I have to play them through the laptop speakers for you to pick them up.
And I did hear it, so thank you for the hand clap. What do you use? Do you have the Rodecaster or no?
No, this is just a little Tascam mini studio I picked up on Deal of the Day a few weeks back.
Okay.
It works well enough for what I've got. I don't have all the fancy stuff just yet for it, so I'm working
They
on
are
picking up
about
some.
they're about to drop a small, inexpensive version.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, Rode is gonna do one where it's only a 2-channel, and then it gives you 6 pads to put your sound
oh,
effects, and it's
perfect.
much m honestly, if it was out when I got this, I would have gotten that for sure, and
Right.
it's much cheaper than this freaking thing, and, but anyway, um, about the Sony event, um,
Yeah. What's up?
hold
What's up?
on.
What you got going on with that?
I forgot who in the heck told me. It was, shoot, somebody brought it to my attention, and then I'm on that new Threads, Instagram Threads, and
Right.
Sony Alpha popped up as well, but I already signed up. Who the heck sent it to me? Somebody sent it to me. Oh, was it Derek? No, I don't think it was Derek. Somebody sent it to me, and like, oh, it's in San Francisco and it's free. And I was like, what? Oh, it was Derek actually last
Yeah.
night. And then I looked it up. It was free as free can be. And it's a Sony Alpha event. I remember they had a big one last year. So I was like, oh, hell no, I'm not going to miss this one now.
Mhm.
And I signed right up. And hold on. Let's see. Yeah, here we go. I was going to talk about this on Thursday. I guess I will still, obviously. And it's a, Alpha community event for creators, a special live event in San Francisco, shooting setups, photo walks, Sony gear checkouts,
That's
one of a
cool.
kind t-shirt customizations, and a bunch of swag. That's what they're talking about. So, um,
Well, my size is
my thing,
3X tall.
what is it?
3X tall.
Okay, I think you said extra small. I was like, all right, brother, you sure go for it, man. Uh,
You don't see me in an extra small shirt.
so I'm excited. It's funny because I don't shoot Sony at all. I don't have Sony. I don't know anything. So it's gonna be the most honest perspective, non-biased perspective, just walking through this place. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And
Does
should
anything
I go
anything go ahead.
go for it?
No, so go ahead and say what you're saying.
I'm not sure if I should go live or I'm thinking I'm just gonna record it and then cut it up and post it as a video. Will probably be the best quality, tell you the truth, for all of you folks.
Right,
And
yeah.
yeah, I'll
No,
probably do that.
it's a great experience to see what, a non-Sony shooter has to say after going into it, and what what do they bring to the table that's, exciting to you, or what do you see? I know in your last stream you were talking guys were talking about the FX30 quite a bit, and
Yes.
I had to jump off for a phone call, so I didn't get to follow up with everything that you were talking about with it. But I'm blown away by my FX30 and how well it works. I really enjoy the
Yeah.
new camera.
I
For the
was too when I played with it, and Derek is gonna be getting it. That's why we were talking so much about it. And me personally, I probably would have done the FX3 just for the full frame, but Super 35 is just fine. You'll get all the work done with it. And but I love the features and what I was impressed with the build quality, the 1/4 inch screws all through it, and then also the autofocus really was pretty awesome.
Yeah,
So,
I'm just sitting here like staring at my monitor, and it's like there's a white square around my eye no matter what I do. It
oh,
just
so
it,
you're using it now?
oh yeah, I'm streaming with it,
Oh yeah, this looks great. Yeah,
and
that kudos. It looks
I've
sharp as hell.
got the cheap little 16 millimeter 2.8 I picked up on eBay a week ago on it. That it's it's pretty
It's
quick. I
doing
mean,
its thing.
it's instant from
Erica. Oh
hand,
yeah.
like
Yeah.
instant
Yeah.
eye. It's pretty
Yeah.
impressive.
It is. He was telling me all the stuff when so you didn't miss much but him talking more about the camera you already own. So
All right.
but he wants to get way more into video, and I've been wanting to show create more video tutorials about
Hmm.
videography. So it just
Yeah.
kind of was a perfect segue. And the video I posted today, I'm not sure if you saw it. I built an entire camera rig, a video camera rig out of the Z8
Oh,
with
okay.
small rig accessory, small rig cage, all bunch of stuff, and
Yeah,
so I go and walk through, and it's a pretty nice, awesome. Oh, I already took it apart, but nonetheless, it's a pretty awesome rig I put
yeah,
together,
it
and
was.
mhm.
Yeah, I put
Uh,
I've got the cage on the FX30. I put it in, and I like it because it extends the bottom frame a little bit. And
oh,
then
okay.
I do have a video on my channel about it, unboxing it and putting it on the camera. And then I have an additional video talking about mounting it to uh, the Ronin RSC2 and how
Mm.
the bottom plate locks into that top cradle. You can just slide it in and out of the Ronin, which is really nice. It's a real
So
clean
it's an
feature.
Arca Swiss. There's an Arca Swiss on the
Yeah,
bottom of the cage.
but it also has the latch, the key latches for the safety pins on the gimbal.
Oh,
So it actually
oh,
engage safety
okay.
locks. So if it were to
Oh,
come
that's
loose,
nice.
it would fall off.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That
Yeah,
would be a bad day.
yeah,
That
and
would
then it's
suck.
yeah, and then I've got the little uh, extension bracket that goes over the hot shoe if you're not running the top panel, because I do have the top panel for mine for
For
the audio.
yours.
Yeah, and and
God, I
I
have a
put
top.
the
Oh yeah.
small.
Okay, you got that.
I've got the extension plate that from Small Rig and this top plate, which gives you another spot, which is a great spot to mount the little Rode
Oh,
receiver.
does it fit? It fits
Sits
inside that?
Yeah, the
Oh,
Rode
that is
receiver,
pretty.
they slip right in to on their little belt clips are the same size as the
Mm.
hot shoe, so they just slip
Oh,
in.
like a shoe, so it fits right there. Okay. Yeah,
But
that's pretty cool. The top handles I have obviously cold shoe mounts, but that's pretty cool. Derek needs to see that. He would like to see that because I was telling him you need to get that XLR um accessory, and he's like, "Oh, I'll save money if I don't get it." I was like, "Bro, you're gonna need it. Like, just get it."
you,
You know?
you know, a lot of people bought the camera originally, like I did, because it was the only model you can get when it came out, and I was one of the first ones to. I mean, I bought it pretty much a day or two after it came out. Um, but they didn't have just the camera bodies. They were selling the kits, so a lot of the handles went on eBay because people didn't need them.
Uh,
So you can
uh,
pick, because I think it's about a $400 ad. It's a $400 adder on the camera. I think Sony sells them for like 600 or something, or $500 for the handle. But you can pick them up on eBay from $300 to $400.
oh,
Unused, just old
there was
because
just
they
a
bought.
plethora of people were selling it.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I would
So
have kept it, but
I bought it with it because when I had the choice of buying it with the handle or picking up one of the wide angle lenses, and I said, you know what, I really always wanted the audio handle, and it gives you that digital interface through the hot shoe.
yeah.
Um, and I'm happy with it. You get the fine tuned control of all of your
Oh,
audio channels in it, because it's a 4 channel input.
yeah, and
Not
most importantly, you have XLR cables
Yeah, you got two XLR
versus
inputs and a stereo mini jack.
and see this with the Lumix S5. I have their connector right up top, obviously. Right. Hold on, my face. There we
Right
go.
there
It
you go.
always wants to go to my face. So here, connect, and then it connects to the hot shoe, and that's where it transfers all the audio, obviously. And there's the
Clean.
jacks right there.
Yeah, very
So
clean.
yeah, it's just the way to go. But this is the way they have it here for Lumix, like this, and
Right.
I'm using this on Saturday for start production on my next film, and I already took apart the Z8 rig because I got to use it for this rig. So,
Right.
but you'll see it in the video. Plenty of footage. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Right.
And
Yep.
but yeah, it was fun. I'm not gonna lie, it was fun putting it together. And I was like, I'll take that apart. Thank you very much. But it was fun.
Yeah. No, I've
And
got
so
four little
let's look
pieces.
at these photos.
Yeah. Pop back in there
Show
and
me
show
the
you.
photo, brother.
All right. So shot this on the A7R2. And I'm kind of, happy with this one right here where it's at. I could probably go in and fine tune some more.
The sky looks awesome.
Yeah, you know, it was a really nice moody clouds that I wanted. I just wanted them to light up in this orange down here by the bridge. I was expecting them to go
Hmm.
full orange. That's what I was really like hoping for because if you Google sunrise Dallas skylines, the image is taken at this location in just full fire orange. And I was like, yeah, maybe I'll get lucky, you know. And then I got out here at like, let's see, sunrise was at 6:30 a.m. I was there at 5:30, you know, like
Wow.
finding a spot. And the problem with this location is, let me get one of these wide angles right here. You see these power poles.
Oh,
You have
interesting.
these high voltage lines that cross this waterway, and the only way to get, you know, get out of these is to stand underneath them, essentially. You know, so this is on a pretty. It doesn't look steep here in the image. It's a pretty steep hill that I'm like had the
Okay.
tripod on to kind of get
Yeah.
up high. And then I kind of saw the composition of, you know what, just crop it wide, and that would work because I
You could just content aware all that
yeah,
lines out, you know.
right, yeah, and something this program Luminar does pretty well. I haven't had a chance to mess with that one yet, but I've got some telephoto shots in here I was going to look at and try to see what we can do with them. So
Well, that's cool.
that's a basic. See where was the shot at here? This is a 105 f8 1.3 second.
Mm.
So
Play
let's
with this one a little bit.
let's go in and look at. Got a little bit of movement in it. Looks like from the long shutter.
Wind or something? Oh.
It could be, yeah. Like I said, I'm standing on a hill with the tripod, trying to be stable with three legs at different heights, and but let's throw the super sharpen on this thing. I didn't like it on the last image on medium, but the low seemed to do okay. It kind of cleans up
Oh,
the
it does it really?
yeah, it kind of cleans it up. Gives it a minute here.
Wow, that's gonna be there
So
we
there's
go.
before
Let's see.
and after. So
I
before
see a little
and
uh-huh.
after. Like I said, we're really
Oh yeah,
pixel people
I
right
see it.
now.
Yeah, I do see the difference there.
Let's go back
Yeah,
up.
pull back out. Oh, there we
Okay, so
go.
that's after and before. We don't really see much difference here at this level. At least I
Well,
don't
when
on
you
this.
pull out, you don't see the vibration as much. This
No, no, I sure don't.
but it's I like this composition. And the clouds look like it's gonna come out nice. I can see
Yeah.
the contrasts and stuff already.
So we got some grain in here from the noise. This is ISO 100. I kept it pretty clean. Let's just throw that noiseless on low on it. This does a pretty good job just kind of smoothing everything out. I've been slowly playing with this program to see
Mm.
what it can and can't do. See, it got rid of some of it. It cleaned it up without killing it. See the glow in the lights of the triangles. You can really see the
Pretty hot.
core compared to now. It seems like it sharpened the image up a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Let's go back here. Let's go after and before. It
You use
sharpened.
you use this software often? Is this
No,
ever
I
used it?
they actually reached out to me to
Oh,
to mess with it, and I did a video on it not too long ago. So uh, I've got affiliate link and all that for it, but it it's okay in some regards, but I'm not super impressed with all the tools it gives it. Like on the last image, we did structure. Was it structure? No, I think it was super sharp. I put it in the medium super sharp setting. It really like destroyed the bridge arch. Like it just shadowed it out weird. It didn't do it
uh,
right.
like over
But
processed almost.
yeah, and it just I was like, no, that's not going to work. But let's go ahead and throw a little structure here to see what we do with the structure slide.
Oh. Oh, dang,
That's
look at the
out.
clouds though. That looks awesome.
Yeah. So we probably got to get in here and pull our shadows up a little bit, bring our highlights down, add some contrast.
looking better already.
Yeah. Go back to our structure. Now, this is one thing I don't like about this program is, see, we made a structure adjustment, and then we go out of the window to the develop, and it like hard locks your adjustment. Now you're back to a 0 slider. And that's one thing I do not like about this program is it's like you're baking it in at that point.
Oh,
Wipe the
so
image.
it's not like Lightroom where every adjustment is
No,
its own layer, basically.
no, it's not. And that's one thing I'm a little disappointed with. I found that it's like you can't move it back, and I haven't figured that out yet. Like I said, I've been in this program enough to kind of work my way through it, show some of the features of it, but you definitely, you get it cleaned up. And let's zoom in and look here and see what we're looking at. It's a little muddy in the tree. Well, it's a long exposure on tree leaves. It was breezy that morning.
Yeah, you would assume that for sure.
Yeah.
And that's downtown? Is that downtown?
That's downtown Dallas, yeah.
Copy that. Okay.
And what's cool is this. The other thing I was really like is they had a blue theme going because this building changes colors. This tall one, they put different colors on it. Because I've got this evening, it was the orange, which worked really well.
Okay. Where were you? Was that a drone shot?
No, that's from the Reunion Tower.
Very cool. That's very cool.
And that's this tower. What's that? That's this globe tower right here. There's this deck right here you can go out on. Not screen. Yeah. So this is the Reunion Tower, and it's a pay to go up to this deck, but you can walk around at 360 degrees, and they allowed me to take my tripod up there to shoot, and they said, "Yeah, no problem." And when I got through the tripod, it moves too much.
Really?
I couldn't do more than a 1 second exposure without it blurring because the tower's waving in the wind so much.
No, whoa. You felt it swaying?
I couldn't feel it, but it moved enough that the tripod's not stable. Like it won't clear image. So now I've heard that they don't allow tripods up there, which it's a mute point unless you're just doing fast shutters with it. But yeah, it does move enough that the tripod wasn't effective for me. So I ended up free holding all of my other images.
Dang. But from that angle during the daytime might work. With a faster shutter speed.
Yeah, faster shutter during the day, yeah, without a doubt. And like I said, I would capture those. I think I want to say the ones I've captured were around half-second exposures that I was free holding.
Is that the one on the bottom? The one you were okay? Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, this is the one we were just working on. This relight is their AI system for lighting. So like we go to light up the near side here. You can see how it just adjusts the foreground, and then you've got your far, which will light up pretty much. It looks like a global adjustment on the top half.
Yeah.
But you can go and change your depth of the near and how far it lights up, so we can see it's kind of lighting up the trees, and it gets kind of falls off a little bit, on all of it. But in some situations, some of the so let me just show them to you. Go down here. What's that? I gotta learn to catalog better. I just
Is
dump
this
everything.
System good at it?
What's that?
Is this system good for cataloging?
I haven't played with it, honestly, to see what may or may not be good with it, because I think it's one of these with this headshot. I think it's this one I did.
Oh, yeah, that one works.
Come on. It's not even loaded yet.
I'm so used to Lightroom.
Yeah.
I had a company reach out called Dehancer. You ever heard of them?
Mm-mm.
And they basically, kind of it's editing, but with like if you want film looks, like film photography, film videography looks and stuff. And I was like, I'll go back to Lightroom.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. During the day.
Well, it's just as the morning progressed, that's what we got.
Oh,
Like
same
this
day.
is what I'm looking at here. Let's look at this one here. This one we got some nice sky popping through these clouds, and I think I shot this. Yeah, these two actually I purposely shot for HDR, so just test their merge.
Oh boy, hold on.
There you go.
I'm curious to see what it came up with. Dang. All right, well, I'll give it its a thumbs up for that. It merged it.
Yeah, it merged it all right. I've had problems with it merging and not getting the blend right, but these were taken properly, like locked down on a tripod. But a quick shot. Let's see. It has a composition. Let's see what it comes up with for composition on itself. No,
it took out the water.
Got the water. Let's see. Let's go free. Just pull it down to get rid of the negative space there. Bring up. I think something like that.
It's like a 16:9 kind of a feel to it.
I've always liked wide angle. I've always liked having that perspective in landscapes.
This is. I'm just. I like how it stacked the photos. It came out nice.
Get quick. Let's pull our highlights back. Give it some dynamic range.
The sky looking awesome.
Don't get too much. Let's go to our color. Oh, where's it at?
Downtown Dallas.
Yeah, we got some sky texture in the image when the light started glowing through the clouds.
Yeah, the sky looks awesome. It looks so cool.
Work with contrast. This image is
like. What was that?
Yes, it's really loading up by this. I've got a base MacBook Pro 14. It really seems like it's loading it up with this high HDR image because it makes it into a TIFF.
Oh, so it's a super big file now.
You
got the birds.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and let's do this. Let's throw noiseless on it. See what happens.
Yeah, if it was Lightroom, I'd stamp tool those damn birds right out of there. They just look like, they just look more distracting than anything from this distance.
What's this salt and pepper look up here?
That sky looks pretty cool.
Pull the green. I want to do something with the green. Let's see. Let's change hue. I don't like the.
Well, don't do. Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah, I want it too bright.
Exactly.
Maybe let's just see if we can change it so we start darken it.
I always believe that a dab will do. You know what I mean?
Right. That's working right there. But yeah, they shut the lights off on the downtown on me, right? It was like 5 minutes after sunrise, man. The lights went off. I'm like,
Oh,
really? Because you see the
they must have
building.
sensors or
It
something.
must, yeah, because the building shut off. The whole downtown still shut off. I'm like, what?
At once?
Yeah, they're
Wow.
all together. I couldn't believe it. I have it on recorded it because I was filming for a YouTube video when I shot all this, and I looked up. I'm like, well, now the lights are off. I'm definitely not getting
That's
the
fun.
shot I want now.
Is this
But
this arch, is that part of the bridge or what is that? What
yes,
is it?
that's the Margaret Hill Bridge, which is a roadway bridge you cross over to Dallas on.
Mm.
And there's another one just out of frame to the right. That's a double, I don't know, called the McDonald's Arch Bridge that
Oh,
carries
true.
I-30 into Dallas.
Okay.
And Margaret Hill's one of the more uh, other prominent highways. Can't remember what the highway number is, but this is to
Have,
the
have I'm sorry.
this is to, this is to the west of Dallas.
Oh, okay.
And there's another shooting location which I haven't been to, which I was debating going to because it shoots from the south where you get the Union Tower and
Mm.
downtown, the better perspective of the whole skyline. This is not really the greatest skyline perspective from this location, but you get the bridge because you're real
Oh,
close to. Because the bridge is just the archway. This is the old bridge. It's now a footpath that people walk on. This one
it
in the
used
port.
to.
So if you stand on
Uh,
this bridge and you're shooting wide angle, you can get some really cool perspectives of this arch and the water reflection underneath. Usually, if you're
okay.
standing on the far side of the bridge over here. But let's see uh, I have a shot I took. I'm trying to think if I have it. I might have it here on the computer. Let me see.
Did you grow up in Dallas?
No. I moved to Texas about 8 years ago, and that's been my time in Texas. I actually went to Houston for a couple of years in technical training back in
Mm.
2004, but I didn't spend much time in Houston exploring. I've been to Houston since, and it's a very cool downtown. The other really cool one I really like for photography is Austin, which is the capital.
Oh,
And the Capitol building's phenomenal. It's the largest state Capitol building. It's bigger than the Washington D.C. Capitol.
well, I mean, it
And
is Texas, so I mean,
it,
I would
it's
figure.
but it's public right away. You can walk into it and take
Mm.
pictures inside it. And I don't think I have them readily available.
Austin is the capital of Texas.
Yes.
Hmm. I don't know why I just never knew that, but that's cool. I just know Austin because PBS's Austin City Limits, where they play live bands. You ever seen that show?
I have not.
Uh, so it's just like unplugged, but like on PBS. It was called Austin City Limits,
Okay.
and yeah, they'd have like bands and bands you would know or hip hop artists or whatever, and they would just be performing live, and it was through PBS. It was a cool thing. I'm not sure if it still goes, but uh, that was the only thing I knew about Austin was like whatever clips they showed through there. I was like, oh, that's coul. People were like, yeah, Austin's more of the. It's a cool city.
It
I've always heard
it's
good
got a
things. But
got a wonderful river walk on it that you can park that you can walk down, and it's across the river, and so the downtown skyline photos are full reflection in the river. And
dang, that's cool.
trying to think if I have those photos anywhere I can show them. But Austin's very colorful buildings like that. They light them up. They've got powerful enough lights on them that some of it will reflect off the clouds if you're
Dang.
there. Cloud cover or a fog looks really cool sometimes on it. But the Capitol building is, it's fully lit by spotlights, so it just shines, and
Wow.
it's a very cool. Let's see what I have one
It's
here.
nice.
It's nice. It is very, very nice.
I do want to let you know on that Sony event, there's going to be on that day, Sony is doing product launch that day.
Yeah, it's supposed to be. The rumor is the A6700, which is going to be their flagship APS-C like hybrid photography camera.
Oh,
And that's the rumor mill, and there's leaked images now, so it's pretty positive that's going to happen. The other one that we're expecting to launch with it is a new 70 to 200 f4 uh, G lens, which will be their like midline lens.
okay.
That is a third
That's
smaller
rumored too.
than the Mark One, and the Mark One's already incredibly light and small. I actually really like that lens, and it's a phenomenally sharp lens. I've got to get my photos because they're all on the hard drive. I haven't moved anything over to this one. Do I have anything on?
Oh yeah, I see what you mean on SonyRumors.com. It said official teaser for the 6700 announcement.
Yeah,
Um, all right, so this will at least give me an idea of what I should be looking for and make sure I capture this content and try to gear out. You know what I mean?
there's going to be the hot topic there. Yeah, that's the
Multi-selector for focus point control. An exciting hint. Okay. 4K 120, 26 megapixel, dual SD, AI features, which I'm sure will be cool. Uh, Price slightly below the Fuji X-T5. No fully articulating screen. Focus
yeah.
stacking.
They're referring to the A705 screen that flips around sideways, but also will flip up and down. Like
It won't have. Oh,
it
it'll have that
won't
function.
have it won't have that function. So we're assuming it's just going to be a side flip screen like the FX30, FX3.
Can you show me that? Let me show me that. What does that look like? Does it do it for yours? The one that you're thinking it will be on your FX30? Oh wait, you're using it.
Um, where's my camera? Where's my bag at?
Can
So
you turn
there's
off your video?
the
Okay, show
traditional.
me.
This is the traditional, just up and down tilt screen that they've had,
Okay.
and then the FX30s flips out to the side like a Canon or the Nikons and rotate, so you can see yourself of
Okay.
yourself and
Yeah.
around. But you have to have it out to the side to rotate it up and down. So the
Oh,
A7R5, it has this functionality right here, but then you could have it here and flip it out. So it's double
what
hinged.
about the 67? So the 67 is going to be like that one in your hand? The
No, I
6700?
think they're going to give it the same screen as the FX30, which is the
Copy
one that
that.
slows up, and but it has to be out to the side to rotate it.
Rotate it. Okay. Well, I'm excited for this. I'm going to act very excited, though I don't know much about Sony. So this will be great. You're going to see pure acting in full display. No, I'm excited to just be there and check it out and everything. The
Right.
spec, um, what would you this is going to be a question I'm going to ask them. Why would I get an FX30 if I can just get this if it's APS-C?
I'm guessing that it's going to be it won't have a fan for video, and it won't have the durability of the casing like the FX30, where it's a purpose driven video camera. The A6700 is going to be
Like a
have
hybrid, huh?
viewfinder. It'll be a hybrid, and it's supposed to have the same sensor as the FX30. And they're saying it's 7 stop of IBIS, which is the in body stabilization. And
That's
if they
good.
yeah, that's an improvement because they've been at like five
Oh,
stops forever.
yeah. Okay. I like the 4K 120. Um, The sensor size is what I would assume for APS-C. Everything sounds cool. I'm definitely excited because they're gonna, we're gonna do what's a gear tryouts and shooting days and whatnot. So I'll definitely gonna get my shoot on with this thing.
Yeah.
I gotta come very. I'm gonna be showing up looking like a vlogger. It's gonna be ridiculous. Kind of wish Derek was there.
Yeah.
Maybe I could get him to. Oh wait, he still works. Shit. Well, because I want to be able to use it, and then anyway, it's gonna be crazy. I'm gonna bring a tripod and another camera to film me while I'm using a camera and all this. It's just a headache,
Yeah.
but it'll be fun. If there's something you want me to look for or ask, definitely let me know. Okay, because that I would like to make sure that I get questions answered that's relevant to Sony users.
Yeah. I would say focus on the A6700 because that's going to be the new camera and whatever the lenses they've got going on. There's also supposed to possibly be a third item that hasn't been announced or released or mentioned that could possibly show up.
Yeah, so
And
you said the 7200 mil f4 second version.
yeah, Mark II.
Okay, there you right. I'm typing this down. Okay, and a third something or other. Okay,
This is a
Sony.
shot I shot with the Mark One 70 to 200 that I borrowed, and I only have it on Facebook right now.
Oh,
But
cool.
um, the original file it blows me away because I can zoom into this guy's forehead and you can see the hairs and the skin detail
Wow.
all on him, and of course, I don't think it's going to let me go in too far here without it degrading on Facebook. But yeah, yeah, it's not going to do it. I'm going to have
Which
to. All right,
camera?
that's the A7R2, the 42 megapixel. Um, I'm going to have to get the. Uh,
Oh, it's on Facebook. Okay.
yeah, it's just Facebook upload. I don't have some of my early work.
Oh, that's cool. Creepy too.
This was dangerous. I had to stand there to get that shot. He couldn't see.
Oh yeah, he couldn't see, huh?
I said, "Hit it as fast as you can, man." And I said, I'm hoping to have the stars show up." And it was like perfectly hollowed out around the star.
Around the Mercedes. Yeah, that's hilarious.
That was my off-road Mercedes there.
Dang, you go off roading with it?
I did. Yeah, I don't have it no more, but I did. That's 33-inch tires on that thing.
Dang, that's beast mode.
Got after it. It was a shot in the
Going
mud.
off. Wow. Hey, look at that thing throw up all that mud.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. Who's driving?
A buddy of mine. I told him, I said, just get in there and drive it and hit it hard.
Are you recording some dirt bikes and whatnot?
Yeah, it's one of my other life hobbies right here.
Oh,
Adventure.
okay. What is like an enduro or something? Or
Yeah, this was a BMW 650. Had it for quite a while. Recently sold it, and my dad on one of his mini bikes.
cool.
So exploring up in New Mexico.
Did you ride out to New Mexico or did you just drive it on a bed or
Drive
something?
out. We had to get out to where we were at because it's just so it's too far and too dangerous out here where we live to be on the roads. There's so much heavy
Okay.
traffic that don't care. We're always watching out there. Yeah, some old shoots from the supermoon.
Let's see the moons.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, let's see that. I like the colors in it. Dang. What did
Which
you
one?
shoot those with?
This
No.
is that's the 70 to 200 2.8. on my R2. And then this is the 24 millimeter blood moon shot.
Oh, that's at 24 versus 200, huh?
Yep.
Damn, big difference.
Huge difference in the moon. And then thought I had, yeah, here's some of the Milky Way stuff I've done.
Ooh.
So this is what I say. I can get you down to class 1 dark skies. This is where we go.
This is it, huh? Damn, that's incredible, man. That's incredible. I love the colors, and I don't know, it looks so close, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's and what's crazy is, you don't see that with your naked eye, but you can see the majority of the white. You can make out the darker black center exists in the sky when you're looking at it. You see a white glow, and then you see the darker, narrower band in the middle, and that's what's kind of interesting about it when you're seeing it naked eye. Is all this darker bit of matter is darker in the sky actually, and then you see the glow. And once you're staring at it for a while, you see quite a bit. But you throw the camera on it, well, you get the detail in on these little cloud streams coming off the sides, and it's pretty impressive. And then these are some shot at.
Oh, that's cool.
I want to say that was shot with the A7S2.
So when you look up without the camera, you don't see all that detail, obviously, right? That's nuts.
No, you see a pretty dark sky.
But all that info is there. That's what's crazy.
All that stuff's there. You pull it in, and if you get dark enough skies, you really get the detail. Because what's crazy to me is this orange glow. There's no lights over there. That's just, I think, horizon glow coming up, because we're looking south toward Mexico. There's no cities that way at all. And
that's crazy.
You still get this horizon glow on the horizon.
Looks like there's a campfire on the other side of that mountain.
Yeah, it does. It's pretty crazy there. This is a cool shot. This is you gotta look at this one for a second to see it, but this is at 400 millimeter.
Oh, see, now you can really get on that moon.
Yeah, so you can get on the moon, but look down in this corner.
Oh, what's that?
That's Jupiter and the Galilean moons.
Jupiter?
Yeah.
That's Jupiter? Like Jupiter?
Jupiter, the planet, yeah.
That's crazy how small it looks.
And yeah, you get, I don't know if you can see the moons or not in the image, but the moons were, I had to highlight them, but they were there. The data was there. They showed little blips of the pixels, but I just highlighted them a little bit.
They're like surrounding it.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
And a clear night, if you're looking at it, you can see quite a bit of you swear to God that Jupiter's like a line. It's not, straight across. And it's the train one I did.
Is it like an old school train or like an old school modern train?
It's an old school train. They restored it. They travel the country with now.
Oh. Union Pacific. Wow. Yeah, remember nothing got around without that thing. Jeez.
Yeah.
Going to full 15 miles an hour.
Dude, I'll tell you what, it books it.
No, I'm sure it does. I just remember like at the beginning when people were like frightened by it, and it would go like 15 miles an hour.
Yeah.
It goes fast as we walk. Holy cow! You better slow down. Oh, that's cool. There's a comet right there, huh?
That's Neo-Wise from 2020.
And where'd you shoot that?
Not far from where I shoot the Milky Way photos. We actually hiked about a mile up onto a mountain, and it was just socked in cloud cover. We were going to miss it probably, and we had about maybe a 10-minute window where the clouds broke away. We were able to get shots off. That was shot at 85 millimeter, and I've cropped it.
Oh,
pretty heavily, but I don't think I have a natural.
When the clouds broke, you saw it easily. Like, oh, there it is.
You can see it well enough to know there it is, you know. And I
Da-dum.
had another video I have up there. We were going to chase that one of my early ones. Yeah.
Very cool.
And this
Hey,
was
Malcolm, I'm gonna have to. I have a lot of paperwork to do,
sir, man.
but I'm gonna have to. I have to cut. But I really enjoyed jumping on with you, man, and I appreciate you having me.
I
I really
appreciate your
do.
stuff.
Those are great photos, man. Oh my, maybe makes me wish I could see so much of the universe. It's just I'm kind of a like a science or history, nerd. So when I see fun facts and stuff, I'm like, wow, that's fascinating. And to see how much information is out there staring at us
Right.
and right in our face and we don't even know it. But it's like amazing because those are millions of other planets,
One
and
of my goals is to try to get the Andromeda galaxy, the whole another spiral galaxy
yeah.
next to it. And what's crazy about that is at 200 millimeter, it fills the frame because
Oh,
to the
does it at 200 mil?
to the naked eye, if you can expose for it and get the shot, because it's multi-stacked imaging to get it. If you can get it, it's 4 times larger than the moon. So, like you see a
Oh,
shot, these
in your
it's
frame, you're saying.
yeah. So if you shoot a moon at 200 millimeters, it's 4 moons across.
That's how big the galaxy is.
Big the galaxy is, and you can see 2 more galaxies next to it. If you,
What?
but the guys that are capturing that image, they're doing 30 to 170-second exposures on trackers, stacked 40 images, 50 images to get the
Oh,
exposure
that's
right
how they're oh, dang,
to it.
that's
So
nuts.
yeah, eventually someday I'll have a tracker, and that's my goal is to get that guy.
So they'll have it on like 30 seconds, do 30 frames,
Hmm.
stack them all together.
Yeah,
Oh,
pulling
that's
different
how
data.
it's dang. Well, man, thank you very much. And I actually, you exposed me to something. Obviously, I don't shoot any landscape and for sure astro. So it's fascinating, man. It really is. So hopefully I'll see you on Thursday
Yeah,
and we can talk about, which I will be talking about anyway, my experience at the event.
yeah. No, I look forward to that. And yeah, I can't think of any other questions to ask anybody other than yeah, I would say the hot topic for the Sony brand is the 6700 they're releasing. Um,
Okay.
check out the A7R5, the articulating screen if they have that there. That'll show you right away how cool a screen that is.
Oh,
Um,
okay. You said the
and then
A7.
R5,
Uh-huh.
and then their flagship camera is currently the A1, which I've heard rumors is going to be replaced this year with the Mark II version.
Yeah, I think it's about time. Um, and then you said the 7200 F4, right? Mark II?
Yeah, Mark II F4 is supposed to be announced possibly with the A6700, which
Okay.
I'm hoping to see a high end piece of APS-C glass come out, like another G lens, because they've got
Mm.
3 or 4 of them now. But I'd like to see some more high end APS-C glass because especially with the launch of an APS-C camera,
Yeah,
that's
that makes sense.
that
That makes
makes
sense.
I think it'd make for just a good product release because they've done it before with they've released it.
Okay.
I think it's a 18 or 16 to 55 2.8, and then they've got a 70 to 350 4.5 to 5.6 lens. I think that was a high quality lens, but those they're $1,500 lenses each. They're not
Yeah.
cheap. And
Well, Nikon just announced announced. They're about to announce the Nikon 35 millimeter f1.2 lens. So I want to get this Sony info out the way because I know once that drops, we all got to hit the YouTube sphere and talk about it. You know what I mean? And
right,
but I'm actually excited for that lens just because that's a fun walk around focal length. You know what I mean?
right. No,
Yeah. So
I'll be looking for Thursday to get the live update from you, and
that's
I'll
what I'm
join
talking
in
about.
if you got it
Please
going. I'll
do.
in there.
Yeah,
be
I think this time
I guess.
the what? Wait, said it again.
Resident Sony expert in your group.
Yeah, you know what? When I saw you live, I made sure to chime in because I knew I was going, and I wanted to let you know I was going to that event.
Yeah, I
So
saw
you
on
and Derek.
Instagram or something you posted somewhere you're going. I was like, man, how did that guy get that hookup for that?
Well, if you were here, I mean, I was sure I would have just sent you the stupid link. It's not
Right.
like hidden or anything, you
No,
know.
it's something you go to when you're around those places. They have them here
I'm
in
just
Texas now. Then like Austin, they've had them, or I just
Oh,
haven't.
okay.
Well, they do travel around a little bit, but you got to really watch for them. They don't advertise it per se. It's like this week. Oh,
Totally.
it's happening this week. Yeah, it's 6
That's
hours away still.
that's exactly what I saw. They're like, "Oh, Wednesday, plus product lease." I was like, "Oh, right." And I'm like, "Oh, right on. Okay, I guess I'll go." And the price is right. So, and what
Right,
am I doing on a Wednesday evening
right.
at 4 o'clock? So, better than hanging out touching cameras. So, let's be honest. Anyway, I'll keep you posted. Thank you, man, for having me. Really appreciate it. I had to hurry up and I was in my pajamas and everything. I was like, hold on, let me get my mic. I got to turn all the stuff on. And when you sent the link, I was like, let me jump on for a couple of minutes and hang out with you.
I appreciate it, and plug yourself. And it's not that I don't
Oh,
think there's people on watching us right now, but I get a solid 30 to
well,
40 people.
whoever watches on the rewind, you go ahead and check me out, Robert Silver Photography, on YouTube, and I go live every Thursday, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Come check me out and join the conversation. And Malcolm is usually hanging out with us and the other core group, and I'll be making that graphic, by the way, Thursday with
So
everybody's. You remember I talked about that? Yeah,
time slot.
I'll make a I'll make a little graphic and then we could all just, post it during our videos just to let folks know about the weekly live streams we got going on. Does that make
Yeah,
sense?
no, it makes perfect
Mhm.
sense.
Yeah. So I haven't forgot. I'm just so busy. It's this next film project is killing me. I'm not gonna lie. In a good way, but the better quality involves more people, involves more moving parts, involves a lot more management, and
Not more time thinking.
I've it's a lot of yeah, it's a lot, man. And then I still want to pump out these videos and of course go live. So it's a tussle. So but
I
anyway,
trying to get my time put into the live stream. I'm not editing near as much as I should be with my regular day job, but uh, I've got a couple video projects in the idea stages, and I've got a couple in the editing process that I just got to sit down and do because
you know,
I see my channel. It's doing this, when you don't post,
wait,
and
what is it doing?
it's the numbers
Oh,
start down from not posting regularly. So I got to get it back up and start, getting posts again going. But
that's what
it's
does it, man.
I know every
Just
consistency,
post. Just
just
at least
post.
once a week.
Yeah,
If you do all I do is my goal is once a week I upload a video. I go live as well during that week, and then I post about 5 short videos a week. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Those little vertical videos, little snippets and whatnot. And that's what I just keep going. I just keep it's a damn job. You know how it is. You know how this is.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's all day long if you need it to be.
But I think if you're doubling down on your Sony stuff, like I try to get Derek to do a Fuji YouTube, stuff like that. I noticed those do really well. Like Vahagan, he obviously has personality and he's very consistent, but you go to him really for a lot of Nikon,
Mm,
right? So he becomes this specialist in Nikon, or at least a
right,
go-to channel for
right,
Nikon. And so for you, if you double down on the Sony, if you're
yeah,
really passionate about, I would say double down because that's what get people to keep coming back because you're the guy about Sony.
yeah.
You
Well,
know?
that's what kind of kicked my channel off and to where I'm at now is I released a 4-year review on the A7R2, and that's my
Oh,
video that's hot, and it ran #1 on A7R2 search for 3 years.
Right on.
Fizzling off, but it's what's keeping my channel going. Honestly, I mean that one video is more than half my viewership. And it's just that.
You want to hear something funny? One of no, not one. Actually, it is one of my hottest videos. My 2 hottest videos on my channel are about fucking Instagram. Can you believe that shit?
Jeez.
So, one is like how to avoid Instagram from cropping your photo, and I showed a trick. And another one is something else about Instagram, and they all have like ridiculous numbers, and it's still getting numbers, and I'm like, fucking Instagram. So, don't you care about photography?
I've got something like that. It's a Sony product at least, but it's just a little voice recorder I bought early on to use as a wireless mic. And I did a review on it when I unboxed it and posted it, and it's like 30,000 views or something. It's one of my top 10 videos. It's just like random,
but it's so funny. Yeah,
it keeps constant traction.
Who
you never know what video lights up.
Exactly. Well, I'm glad to see you. I'm gonna hit the sack now. I'm gonna put in one more hour of work in, and then I'll hit the sack. And but you've been a great distraction.
Yeah.
All right, brother. Have a good one. All right, man.
Thank you, Robert.
We'll take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right. Join Robert's live stream Thursday nights, 5 p.m. Pacific. And lots of Nikon coverage there. But like I said, he's going to the Sony Alpha event on Wednesday. So definitely check that out Thursday night to get the latest scoop on that. And he probably will have a video also on coming out about that experience. Well, we are running into the 2-hour mark. If anybody's got any comments or questions, please feel free to hit me up with comments or questions. Otherwise, I think I'm about done for the night, guys. I've got to wake up and check this out. So if somebody wants to keep it going, I am all out of stuff to cover right now. Look out for that A6700 release coming Wednesday, hopefully. That's the camera we're expecting right now. It'll be the flagship premier APS-C camera. Definitely something to be watching for and check out when that hits Wednesday. We also have the 7200 Mark II. We're going to be able to see that come out, and possibly a third item. I'm hoping for a higher end APS-C lens. So with that, guys, that's all I got for this evening. I appreciate each and every one of you watching. Like this video if you haven't already, and consider subscribing if you enjoy this sort of content. I go live Monday nights, 9 p.m., and it runs forever long it needs to run. So I'd like to thank my guest, Robert Silver, for stopping by tonight and enlightening us with what he's got going on. And anything else, you hit me up in the comments, and I'll see you next Monday night for the live session. And I'll look for you on the other videos. We'll talk to you later. Good night.